Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to RSCEU Season 6 Prospect Playoffs. This is the first time we're going to stream a lower bracket game. Obviously, the system is over 2 nights this time due to work and school. Next to me, we have the delightful Stenos.
Hey everyone, and I'm happy to be here again, Arkion.
Me too. So we have a lower round one game. We've already seen Maika faction drop from the upper bracket. They'll find themselves unfortunate losing to the second seed after the way they played against them in one of the final weeks. However, they turned up a little bit disappointing as the GM. They'll be looking to rectify that in this lower round one against Ford Mondeo side, who seem to have been inconsistent and inconsistent, whichever way you look at it. They've pretty much all got a 53% win rate. So what are you looking from Ford Stenos tonight?
Of course, I'm hoping that they're gonna pop off if you're a Fort Mondeo fan. But to be honest, after watching last series, even if you're inconsistent, even if you're not having the best series, Maika faction is still a very strong team, and you're going to need to perform to have a chance of taking them down.
Yeah, we've seen a very strong sweep from Ariel and a bit of a less of a not a dominant series from Terra, but they did get the job done via 1-goal games and 2 overtimes. However, I think we've got everyone in the lobby. I think we're just going to get straight into this game, and we will tell the players to ready up. Have you got a prediction for this one, Stenos?
I am thinking 3-0 for Maika faction, to be honest. I don't think that Mondeo will win this series. I don't think they're going to win a game based on the results Maika faction have had. But yeah, they're sort of out of form, as you could say it. So it could go to a game 5, but if they perform in the series here, I don't think Mondeo will stand a chance, as we are kicking off game 1, and Torchic is pushing the ball forward, gonna go for immediate shot here, and that's just too fast for me to handle.
Yeah, this is what we saw in the last series. Torchic was the attacking threat from Maika faction. We didn't really see anyone else joining him in the attacking force. So hopefully in the next 4 minutes 54 we do see Ace and Monk pushing up and helping. But Torchic does put Maika 1-0 ahead.
Yeah, that's of course where you want to be in this first game, and in the end it's still game 1, anything can happen, but it's a great start and gives you some momentum to go into the series, as a little bit of a miss here and an immediate shot coming in, and Torchic, once again, the man does not know how to stop.
He doesn't, and I think after the first series he just needs to put Maika on his back, and I think he's doing that in the first 30 seconds and just saying, look boys, let me get a shot off goal and I'll get it for us.
Exactly, and he's going to need to keep doing that in this series if they want to stand a chance of winning this series here. A bit of a double commit here, but not push too hard. As Torchic is going to take it into the corner. He's going to try to get another 50. But a great touch by Carl, putting pressure on the Maika faction side. There's maybe an own goal. Oh no, barely. Monk missing that ball. Good for his team. As Torchic taking us on the wall. He's going to take a little bit of a fake here, but a great push by Darvis. He's going to center it for his team. Buckets is there to get a small touch with a shot on net. Easy save by Torchic, but Monk also decides to go for that, leaving a shot for Darius, who's almost putting it in for his team and getting a goal back. That was unfortunate for the Ford side there.
It was, yeah, and Maika coming out hot in the first few seconds, but Ford Mondeo in these last 30 seconds have put 5 shots onto goal. They are looking for a response, and Maika are kind of making it easy for them right now because they're just whiffing it in the defence. And it just leaves buckets with a one-on-one, and he takes the opportunity.
Yeah, he's losing all his momentum, waiting for the shot to come in, and at that point you're just played. Like, any shot that goes over you will be unsavable. So great shot here, coming in, getting a goal back. That is momentum for them. They need to take this into more, because if this stays like this, Maika faction is going to take game 1. But we still have 3.5 minutes left. It's too early for me to call a victor at this point. So what do you think Mondeo need to do to get back?
Oh, that's an own goal. Carl went for the demo, and I think he own goaled this.
Not that apparently. That's not the right thing to do here. A little bit unfortunate. But yeah, exactly. As you said, I think you were correct, Carl demoing Torchic, but Derfs was on that ball. Like, I don't think Torchic had any chance of putting that in. So a little bit of, I would call it luck for the Maika faction side, but also it's a little bit of a mistake there coming in, giving another 2-goal lead back to the Maika faction. As Torchic is gonna take this high up the backboard with Derfs there waiting to clear the ball. Carl's gonna try to get up to get a shot here, but block from the opposition. As the ball is now high in the middle, as Carl's gonna get a smart touch, but is not able to do it. Ace taking his time here, he's gonna get a small touch here. There's beating him with a shot on net, but Torchic, the man, the mythic, the legend for Maika faction, is there to get an easy save. As now he fakes out Carl, has a lot of boost going on the wall. What's he gonna do here? He's gonna aim for a bit of flip reset. Is unable to make contact with the ball. As now the ball is once again on Maika faction side, as Monkman gets his boost stolen. Another bump by Ace, Ace spinning out of control. 50 going mid for Carl here, Monk on the ball. There's gonna try to intercept him and able to. I almost held my breath there for an amazing shot. That was unfortunate not coming. We see a bit of more back and forth, a little more punch here from Terra. What do you think, Arkin?
Yeah, I think the speed of the first few minutes has gone now. I think everyone's just settling into the stride and just trying to play each other out. But Maika will be pleased with this opening 3 minutes. Oh, what a demo by Torchic. And this is what we didn't see in the last series. Maika are well known in the final few weeks for these demo plays. You can just see Monk wasn't even interested in rotating back. He instantly turned, got the boost, and went for the demo. And this is the Maika that needed to come out a series ago.
Exactly, it's just such a good thing to do. Just rotating out, get the boost, get the demo. If you know that you or your team has the pressure, then you can just go for it. There's no risk for it in that place. But yeah, you need to. Demos can also like result in bad rotation, being too slow if you don't get that demo, or you try to go for a demo when you don't have the pressure. It's still a risk to go. But Maika faction have shown that they're masters of going for these demos when they absolutely have the time and space to do so. With a 3-goal lead with 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining, I absolutely don't think that Ford can come back here. I think this is going to be game 1, but it's a little bit early to call it still. But do you agree with me, Arkil?
Well, as Vector said, on those demo plays, it's high risk, high reward Rocket League, especially in the playoff bracket. And Maika definitely do that. Monk was the one who got the demo, and I think he'll be pleased with that because he hasn't had the strongest playoff so far, and he was the one who instigated that goal. But yeah, I think as we get to the 1 minute mark, I think Maika can say that they've got this game in the bag. If they do concede here from a lapse of concentration, Ford might get some momentum, and Maika will want to stop that going into game 2.
Yeah, because how much does momentum work for you in these playoffs? How important do you think it is? Do you think it's just like it's a good thing to have, or do you think it's an essential thing to have?
It's essential. I mean, Ford Mondeo can be proud of the fact that they've defended for the last minute or two without conceding and can take that into the next game. But also a goal is going to be massive because they cut the deficit to 2. And then you look at the game as a whole, like they didn't lose by much, and they can take it into the next game. However, and there we go. That's the momentum builder for Ford for the next game. However, if Maika scored again and it was 5-1, you can kind of look at the game and say they were demolished, and like people can tilt or get frustrated that the game went against them. So momentum is definitely a big thing in Rocket League.
I agree 100% with you, and yeah, as we're going into the last 10 seconds, and Ace got a bit of a shot on goal, Monk barely missing it, and no one home for Mondeo here.
There was someone home, but he was just a deer in the headlights. He was just sat in the middle of the goal. He didn't even commit for the ball. I think he wanted to go for boost initially, but ended up having to turn. And Ford have lost that momentum that we were just talking about.
5-2 is a rough score, and this Ace is gonna add to injury here. There's another shot coming in, and it's just a complete blowout here in game 1. But for the Ford fans, it is game 1. It is a bit of a warm up here. Maika coming straight out of a series where correct me if I'm wrong, where Fort Mondeo are coming in cold. They probably warmed up a bit, but it could be a little bit of stream jitters, not feeling up here against the warmed up Maika faction.
It could be stream jitters, or it could be the fact that they need to call the AA because the Ford Mondeo has broken down. It is 6-2. Torchic with 4 goals from 4 shots. And we did talk about him all through the last series. Monk as well coming out with the demo plays. This is what we expected from him, and he didn't turn up really. And I'm looking for a bit of redemption. But what about you, Stenos? What do you think Ford Mondeo need to do?
The first thing we need to do is not own goal. I think that is a great way to start. It sounds really mean, but it really helps. No, I'm to be serious here. I think the way game 1 is shown, for me, it just looks like Maika faction being on a completely different level. And sometimes there's just, when the difference in team looks this huge, there's just not much you can do besides trying to rotate correctly and get good, powerful touches on the ball. Not whiffing the ball is also a good start, but yeah, with game 1 being such a blowout, it's very tough to say what Fort Mondeo need to do to change such a huge goal difference. Because you can change 1 or 2 things, but even changing 1 or 2 things, if Maika faction plays the same way, I don't think Fort Mondeo would stand a chance, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and as we said, the 4 inconsistencies all season, ever since Real Spartaks, I think, left that roster, they've been struggling 4 wins. They only just made that 6th seed. I think they were 2nd at one point in the league and dropped to 6th in the final week. So Ford Mondeo looking for a bit of redemption themselves. Maybe they can get the jump starting cables and get them up and going again. But we are in game 2 now.
Yeah, and I just noticed something. I don't know if this was the case in game 1, but we have a Ripper on the field. Very interesting, bringing that out in playoffs. Some secret weapon here by Monk. But yeah, game 2. And we're off to a start as so far, in the first 20 seconds, or to say, we're going quite even with the balls going back and forth. A little bit of a booming by both teams, as he's gonna grab the boost here, gonna try to stop Torchic from doing what he does best, but is unable to do so. So he can maybe a little bit of shot in, but there's not in time to make the shot there. So he's gonna take it slowly up the wall with Torchic chasing him like the Pokemon that he is. And yeah, we seem to have a Maika faction another good start with some pressure coming in. As Mangmang is gonna get the ball into the wall, Torchic gonna go up. Not the fastest aerial here, but a bit of a double commit for Fort. Not leading to any problem as they actually gain pressure from it. As Buckets goes in for a fake, as Mangmang pushing it to the side. There's gonna fake the ball. I like that very much, to do that, to create space for your team. As Ace is gonna try to get the ball into the wall. A bit of a demo coming in by Monk. Don't know what he is doing there in the opposite field, as this is one of those moments where you need to go back, where you don't have pressure. Going for that boost is so risky, leaving your team in a 2v2 here, and Carl just gets a good shot.
Yeah, Monk 100% trusted that Ace was winning that ball and instantly turned off ball cam and went for the demo. As we said earlier, high risk, high reward, and that time it's cost them a goal. I appreciate the effort from Monk, but Ace really whiffed that ball and cost them a goal, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. As now it's different from it doesn't feel different from game 1 so far. I see Maika faction with a lot of pressure on the ball, but the scoreline is completely different. As Mondeo now to a 1-0 lead, as Turchi gets a good ball into the middle, but Monk up for that is unable to beat out the opponent. But Ace is gonna get a nice touch, but Buckets is waiting for it here. Turchi gonna take some time, gonna probably go for a flick, gets over 1 player. Can he go again? He wins to 50. Can he pressure it again? 19 boost. Now he leaves the ball. I think that's the correct way to go, as Carl's going for a bit of a solo player, unable to connect, sadly for him. And we're moving into the last 3 minutes of the game with a 1-0 lead for Mondeo. This time Maika faction, as I wanted to talk about what they needed to do to get that goal. Torchic, the man, the myth, the legend. He does it all again.
And it's that man Monk again, just taking his eyes off the ball and just going straight for the Ford Mondeo keeper. I think you could describe Monk's playstyle as the new goal explosion that's in the Rocket League shop. just instantly demoing the keeper. And he's setting up Torchic constantly with these plays.
Yeah, the Ripper is indeed the secret weapon for all those people looking to get to that higher rank. Monk is showing the Ripper is good at demoing people. Yeah, they're back to a 1-goal lead. It's not a blowout in the first game. Happy to see that at least. We actually have a good series on our hand, going into the second half of the game. Escar gets a great ball across mid. Bucket is there waiting, has a lot of space to work with. See what he can do. I'll take it high there. Torchic should be able to get a good touch here. Let's take it close to him, going for a 50. Once again, I really like him doing that. As Carl going to 50 him, nice patience by Torchic, getting a winning 50. Bucket is gonna take it. Torchic is being such a menace for the defending team there. As another shot here, but Bucket is able to clear it down. Some space, some boost grab for Mondeo here, which is nice. Bucket taken up for an air dribble, no one home. That is a nice shot, Arkion.
It was, and we've seen it twice now where Maika faction just misread the ball in that right hand side of the field and just throw themselves at it and miss. It's cost them 2 goals now, and this is what was worrying in the last series as well. The defence just wasn't there from Maika faction, and it's out of character really when a team such as Maika has 330 saves or something across the season. Maybe playoff nerves are getting to them.
That is a possibility, but yeah, some say a good attack is a good defense. Wait, no, that's the opposite way around. Never mind, didn't say anything. But still, you could think about it. A good, no wait, it is the right thing to say. I got ahead of myself. A good offense is a good defense. So maybe Maika faction think that if they put more into offense, it's gonna be a good defense. So we shall see how that will influence the rest of the series if they keep playing like this. But so far it is a 2-2. It's not a victory for either team. Both teams gonna need to push forward if they want to get that win in game 2. Otherwise we're gonna see a gruesome overtime like we did in the last series. So it's up to the players here in this final game to decide who is going to win. And from the looks of it, it is, I would say it's a little bit Maika faction favorite. They seem to be doing very well. And Monk gets a read from the moon.
What is Monk even doing there in the first place?
Scoring a goal, exactly. Amazing. And yeah, like weird positioning to be there. Just is ahead of the game. Knew exactly what was going on, that ball would drop down there. Moves there. Gets a beautiful smart touch to put that in. Yeah, Monk. He is after struggling in the last game. He is doing work for this Maika faction side.
I mean, yeah, like you said, there's some questionable positions that he's doing, but it's working. And the good offense, when you're outscoring your opponent, doesn't really matter what you do on defense when you're getting the goals. And Maika look comfortable for a 2-0 lead in this series at the moment. If Ace can deal with this, 20 seconds to go. Good shot from Buckets onto the backboard though. Monk doesn't deal with that. Carl could get a shot off here. And there's the equaliser. And it just looks all too nervy in defence for Maika faction.
Yeah, no one guarding the left side of the goal. The ball is just allowed to bounce off the backboard. Monk is just not able to deal with it well enough for it to be out of danger. And it's a good shot by Carl to put it in for a 3-3 lead with 10 seconds remaining. Here we got another chance, but what a save by Monk. That was crucial for his team successor in game 2, as Torchic is going to take it up for a small air dribble, going to try to catch it, but Monk has the same ID and the ball bounces and I can catch my breath. Overtime, Archeon. So who do you think is going to take it in this one?
I cannot call this whatsoever because Maika faction are just so uncharacteristic in defence in this playoffs. They're trying to outscore the opponent and they seem to be whiffing a lot of easy balls, and ultimately it could cost them a game here and there, and this could be one of those games.
Yeah, going up 2-2 or going up 1-1 is, from a mental standpoint, completely different. So in a 2-2 lead, you're all safe, you feel free to play Rocket League, know what I mean? You can feel it, you can allow to drop a game, and in a 1-1 game with just so much tension, so much mental energy being spent to play at your highest level for for all the players on the field. But in this, just don't hope that we're gonna have another overtime of 5 minutes. My mind and my heart cannot handle that.
I mean, when you mention the extra gameplay that people have to put into as well, especially in this playoff system, that might be an own goal by Dervs. He sets up ace, and that is a costly mistake for Ford Mondeo.
Exactly, Carl is not able to read the ball, unfortunately for him, and Ace is oh so quickly in front of the net there to put in the game-winning goal here, as Maika faction is gonna go to a 2-0 lead. And it was a closer game, like 100%. I think for Mondeo, I called at the start that it's gonna be tough for them to get back to it, but they picked themselves up. They did very well in the second game. Ended up losing, but it was not a blowout as we had in game 1. So I have faith that Mondeo is gonna come out swinging into the next game. I think they're gonna take a lot of positive mentality from this from the second game after getting blown away in game 1.
Yeah, and before that goal went in, I was going to say the difference between 1-1 and 2-0. In the playoff system, you then have to... It's not a 4-game series anymore. If it was a draw in the second game, you'd have to play out game 3 and 4 anyway. This just adds an extra 5 minutes onto your playoff run. And, I mean, people can tilt easily when things like that go wrong. I don't know how Ford... I mean, that mistake that they've just costed them the game as well with Ford, that could easily tilt them even further. But at the end of the day, Ford are on the lower bracket run. They only have that one chance, and they need to reverse sweep now. How do you raise morale, Stienos, after going 2-0 down?
As a former GM and captain, I would tell it's never over. There's always room to play, and especially after such a good performance in game 2. I don't think that if you're team captain, I don't know who's team captain for Ford here, but I think you should just take great solace and just play your own game. And you know that Maika faction is good on the offense, and that Carl here has an open net, and raising morale, screw that, we'll do one better. We'll take the lead in this third game.
Yeah, and it's that Maika questionable defense again. They seem to just use all the boost to rush to the ball and then don't even go for it, putting themselves in awkward positions, rotating ball side, not staying at the back post, and ultimately we saw it cost them the first series against Terra. Luckily they do have a 2-0 lead and an open net here, and Ace equalises, and I'm just going to shut up.
Monk, the mad lad, once again, he is there for the demo. The guy does not know how to stop. Good communication that Aces has the open net to shoot on, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and this is just one of the cases it works once again for the Maika faction. These demos are just so deadly, and Monk is so good at them.
This is why he's got one of the biggest win percentages in Prospect, though. He is on a 61% win percentage, and regardless of how questionable some of his plays have been tonight, he is one of the top players in Prospect.
I can definitely see that the guy is on fire, and I'm looking forward to see if he can create some more situations of these, because it's always almost looking like a win condition for a Maika faction if Monk can find these crucial demos to score. Because it's not the first time he's done that this series, not the second time either, it's the third or fourth time he got a crucial demo that opens up the net. But yeah, to the counterplay, he also got a demo that led to a goal for the opposition. So, as Vector and Chess said, it is a bit of risk. But at some point, I also think that you gotta trust your teammates to play well together. So if you go for the demos when your teammate has a free ball, you should be able to not get scored on because teammates should hit that ball. Like these people are maybe not at the highest level, but I do think that in a team game like this, you need to have faith in your teammate, otherwise you're never gonna win a game. And Maika faction definitely has that, as there's a bit of pressure here coming in for Ford, but Ace should get a free clear here. Tries to shoot on goal, but Buckets is there to stop the ball. Get a bit of a touch here, but a bit of a double commit. But Buckets able to take this ball. Carl moving forward. Don't know where he's going, but he's going to get a small doink here. As Davis is up, he takes into the corner, ball's gonna bounce high in front of the net. Someone up, bucket, tough read. Is unable to do it, sadly, for his team. As a bit of pressure here from Mondeo, but quickly returned back to the Maika faction. As Ace is gonna take it onto the backboard, get a bit of a... Oh, and Monk now getting assaulted. He's getting paid back for all the demos he has done so far. What do you think of the last 2 minutes, Archeon? Do you think that for Mondeo are in an advantageous position, or do you think that Maika faction is playing better?
I think it's a bit of an even game right now. Ford Mondeo do have the pressure throughout the game. It's 6 shots to 2 currently. However, I think it's turned into a bit of one of those prospect games. There's some weird mix-ups between the two teams. There's some double commits. There's some whiffs, and I think it's just been a bit back and forth in the last few minutes. The one complaint I have as a GM of Maika faction, though, I seem to notice that they're always struggling for boost. Ace especially. Boost management has been one of the things we've tried to focus on this season. But I think we saw it in the last series as well. They were really struggling for boost when it came to playing Terror. And it's costing them in this third game as well, as they go 2-1 down to Ford with a great goal by Buckets. Great centre by Carl.
Torchic just unlucky with the turn. He's unable to react to that shot, and Ace not second post, not in net fast enough to stop that shot. And from the feeling, I think after going even for such a long time, taking the lead after quite a bit is going to do well for your mentality. But it's also something that could wake up the game, you know, that could like, we scored and now both teams are a little bit more loose and a little bit more likely to go for the ball. So we could see some more goals very quickly, but it could also mean that the goals are going to fall at Mondeo's side. And it is a 3-1 lead, and this is so good for their side. This is gonna do wonders for their mentality.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ford Mondeo took the lead in the last game, and that woke up Maika faction. However, Ford actually capitalised on that 1-goal lead and to double it now. And a bit of a questionable defence again by Monk, diving in as the last man when Ace had just been demoed in the middle of the field. Just left an open net, and like we say with the demos, it's high risk, high reward when putting all your eggs into one basket for the attack. There's no need to jump in as last man, and it's ultimately cost them possibly a game. And this is where the extra 5 minutes into your playoff series comes in. They could have had this series done and dusted now, and refresh and wait for tomorrow. But now, ultimately, they've got to play another 1-2 games possibly, as Ford put in the fourth.
I think we are surely gonna go to that game 4, and I think it's very well bounced back here by Mondeo. But again, as you said, just a bit of a mistake, faking as the opponent is just about to flick the ball. And when you're the last guy back and you're faking that, then I don't think an open net is gonna stop that shot. And you need to be clear on what your position is in the rotation to make sure that who's going for the ball and who is defending, because you cannot fake in that position, as you can see, leading to a quick goal, increasing the lead for Mondeo, as there are now 12 seconds remaining, and I don't think they can do it, that's for one. But I think I'm looking at maybe another goal here for Mondeo, but they're unable to find it, as the last second is gonna count down, and they're gonna let it bounce. And for Mondeo, taking game 4, crucial game 4, looking towards that reverse sweep. But they're first gonna win against Maika faction again. What do you think, Arkeo? Do you think they can do it?
If they play like that, then yes, they've just won 4-1 and got 10 shots in the meantime and restricted to Maika to 3. Well played, Carl and Buckets, for stepping up in that game. Double the points of Monk and Torchic and Ace. And that's the best way to get your team back into the series. They obviously need a reverse sweep, and 4-1 is the right result to go about it. Just a note on Buckets and Monk. They have been in this position before. They played Challenger playoffs last season, and it all comes down to who got the most experience from that playoff, whether they can take that into this playoff and just calm their team down. I noticed a couple of double and triple commits from each team costing goals. So I think it's between Buckets and Monk to try and get that calming influence on the team.
I agree with you, for one. But I was looking through the results just now, and as you said, for Mondeo, Buckets and Carl doing well, but I have not seen much of Dervish yet. I have not seen him going at it. I've not seen him involved in any goals, and I don't know if he's some type of third guy player for this team, or if he's more of a mentality player, like keeping his team happy and keeping momentum up. If that is the case, then very well job to him, because Mondeo has been bouncing back very well. But what can you tell me about him as a player? Because, oh, never mind, we don't get the chance to do that as Monk takes the lead here in Game 4.
Yeah, and ultimately it is the whiffs coming out, and as we talked about Buckets being the calming influence on Ford, he does make the mistake from Carl's awkward pass. I don't know why you're hitting that onto the wall backwards into your own defence. However, ultimately it cost Ford the first goal in Game 4. Maika do take a 1-0 lead.
Exactly, Maika to take a 1-0 lead, but fortunately for Ford, there is still 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. There is time. This is by far not over yet, obviously, as Bucket's going to try to get a small touch here at the pass to his team, but Torchic is also quick to the ball. As now Maika Vega going to take a chance to attack. Torchic bumping on his teammate. This could be bad here for Maika Vega to don't hurry back. 2 people on the wall, not what you want. Now Maika Faction, if they break out quickly, can get a chance here, but Torchic out of boost. Luckily picks up the full boost, allowing him to go into rotation vector. 2 people on the wall here for Maika Faction, as Dervis is going to take it, send it back into the opponent's field. As the middle shot comes up, and Archeon, am I blind, or is there no one in that?
There's just no one in there. I think I don't know where Ace was going. What did he see there that made him boost to the right side of the field? I don't know whether he thought Dervs was coming for him, but Dervs looked like he was backing off as well, and ultimately Ford have just been gifted the first goal for them.
Yeah, 1-1 now in this Game 4. It's not where you want to be as Maika Faction. You don't want this Mondeo line to take up any more momentum that they already have. You want to end this as quick as possible, as Torchic taking up for an air dribble, nice control, gets a good 50, but Carl should be able to calmly collect this ball, take it into mid. No one of his teammates are close to him, but you get a small pinch here. Torchic is able to collect the ball as more, gonna go for an air dribble once again, sees the backboard. Torchic almost with the goal of the tournament, I feel like, but not yet, unfortunate for him. Torchic 12 boost here, is gonna wait it out. I'll try to shoot on net here. Unable to find it as a little bit of double commit here, but Carl's able to take it on the wall, has a lot of space again. See what he's gonna do, he's gonna bang it towards enemy side. A triple commit here with an open net, no one is there, Derv sent it high. Buckets is gonna go up for this. Gonna take it back to his own side, but none of his teammates have rotated yet, so Torchic is on the ball. Nice challenge here by Dervis, gonna take it to Buckets, who flips it high in front of his own team. Is there in time? Yes, they are in time, as Torchic is gonna try to keep up the pressure with a backflip into the opponent's field, but Dervis is already there to clear out the ball as Ace now on possession. 49 boosts in the tank. Carl is up oh so fast, and Dervis get a bit of a bump here on Monk, but see, no one is up, so he has a lot of space to collect the ball. Not enough boost to clear that one though, as Torchic now they're gonna flip it in front of the field. Dervis with a great challenge here, see what he can do. Can he flip it on net? Now can flip it to the backward, open net here, Buckets! Nice. I like it. I really like it.
I just don't know what is going on with these two teams' defences. They look shambolic at times. No disrespect to the teams, but that's just what it is. There's 2 players constantly jumping for the same ball. There's no communication, and ultimately both of them are whiffing the ball, and it's costing every single goal so far. And Maika, who were in a position to be, I mean, they had three match points, and ultimately they could see themselves back to 2-2 in the series.
Exactly, and if that would be the case, then we have an all-deciding Game 5 between these two teams, and then for once in the series, it is Mondeo with the momentum coming into that game after 2 consecutive wins. But as Mondeo has shown, then if that would be the case, we're still speculating at this point, of course, game is now over. If that were the case, then Mondeo have shown that having momentum doesn't guarantee you a win, as they are on the way to reverse sweep Maika faction here in game 4. But we still have more than a minute remaining as Mark pushes this ball forward. It's going to chase him himself. We're below on boost. Torchic is unable to get it, but Ace is there. Buckets quickly sort of tries to demo him, but is unable to find the demo. But a bump there is worth just as much. This ball's going to go high from the net. Monk is going to go for an insane read. Is able to find it? What a save by Carl. That was a necessary save. Torchic keeps up the pressure here in the Mondeo side field as Monk is waiting in the corner, is going to try to flip it high, but is unable to find it. Ace with a very early jump, but whiffs it at Ibrahim. Torchic, nice shadowing here. Gonna slow down the offense here of Mondeo as there's now 3 on the ball. He's gonna go for a 50. Monk then on the ball, gets a small touch here, back into the corner. And here's a shot, but a great save by Torchic. The man, the myth, legend, doesn't think it's over. 30 seconds remaining. Buckets is up. Carl with a save. Ace, can he get a shot? Can he get the angle? Torchic with a demo. As Monk decides not to challenge this ball. As Carl now has a shot. Doesn't have the power that he wishes for. Someone challenges. As Monk does clear the ball to the side.
I'm all for shadow challenging balls. Oh my. What is Dervs doing? He's just double tapped the own goal.
I know I said to Dervs that he has not done much. He has not been influenced in any goal. But this was not what I had in mind. Sorry, buddy. Oh, that is so
maybe not a double tap, but he still jumped into the ball and put it in his own goal. There was no pressure on him, really. The Maika players were still coming out of defence. And Carl just can't put that ball in. That could have brought it to 2-2. And again, I'll say it again, both teams' defence just hasn't been good enough tonight.
Well, from the last minute, the offense has not been great either, as there's a lot of chances coming in for both teams to put it in. Almost a double tap for Carl there. That would have been an amazing way to finish the game. Barky on overtime here. Who do you think is going to take it? Because, yeah, it's been so back and forth in this game. What do you think?
You asked me this 2 games ago, and I didn't have a clue, so I still don't have a clue. Both teams, oh my, Dervs has brought this back to 2-2. Are we seeing the reverse sweep from the seemingly broken down Ford Mondeo?
Yeah, you called out earlier that they were a little bit broken, but they seem to have gone to a repair station and are doing very well in this series. As I knew all along they could do it, even though I called out 3-0. I was just teasing them a bit. I knew all along they was going to go to game 5. Now, of course, I'm joking. I'm looking forward to this final game. I think we're going to see misses. We're going to see both teams mess up. But I also think we're going to see who can dig the deepest is going to take this final game. What do you think about that, Arkin?
Well, I was going to say, whoever the service man is on this MOT or service who has brought Ford Mondeo back into this tie, maybe it's Tronka giving a little bit of whispers into the team chat. I wouldn't put it past him. But he's done a wonderful job on the service, and I mean, I can't deny Ford Mondeo could actually win this game.
I can't either anymore. I really thought that from what I've seen from Maika faction prior to this, disregarding the last series they played, I really thought that they could keep their head and just go with it. And they're not out of this yet, of course. They can still win this game, but something needs to change here for the Maika faction. Losing 2 games in a row. Yeah, the defense, a very easy point of contention for both these teams of something to improve on in this series. But in game 5, both teams will be nervous. The nerves will be tested, as you could say. How do you think that both teams will deal with this?
I'm not too sure, really. I'm expecting a really tense, nervy match, and I think the game's gonna swing back and forth like game 2 and game 4 did. I think it's going to be a draw up until the final stages, and maybe we'll see someone take the winner late on or in overtime. However, I'm just kind of disappointed with how both teams have been in defense today. It just seems like the confidence or the chemistry or the communication just isn't there from both teams. It seems like they're rushing and they're not really playing as a team. It's kind of individualized, other than the few demo plays we've seen from Maika. And I just kind of want to see someone assert some dominance onto this final game, because at the end of the day, whoever wins this goes into the upper bracket tomorrow, and they need to show that they're like willing to take on Aerial and Terra, because they are the two best teams in Prospect right now.
I agree with that, and if one of these teams, whoever moves on, plays like this tomorrow, I think it will be quick exit. We've seen resilience from Mondeo. We have seen sometimes a good play here from this Maika Faction side, looking at the demos. But yeah, if you're up against teams like Aerial and Terra tomorrow, it is a tough one if you're not up to the tasks. There's another double commit and a triple commit for the save. Yes, Archeon, it is a game 5. It is the game 5 jitters, but looking at that, that's just rough.
It is, and like I said, I think we're going to see a tense game here. I don't think anyone wants to put a foot wrong, so I think the defenses might pick up a little bit. Although I say that, and people are just diving in from anywhere. Almost a good dunk by Dervs. I think we've got to do a little shout out to Dervs, though. I think he is one of the lowest MMR players on a team. And I'm just going to stop caster cursing because he's just got lobbed from inside his own half. So, but yeah, Dervs is around an 880 MMR player, if I'm not mistaken, and he's on the main roster of this for Mondeo side. And at the end of the day, they've got 6th spot, and they're taking 3rd seed into a game 5.
Yeah, the guy has been, he has not been doing much, but the things when he is there, he's been doing work for his team as well as, of course, being on the main roster. As before I wanted to continue to talk about that, there was almost a goal here for the Mondeo side as double or triple commit. I don't know what it was, but a lot of defenders went up and managed to save it. But both these teams must be very nervous here coming in to game 5, especially. I think Fort Mondeo will be more nervous than Maika Faction, having the pressure of doing the reverse sweep. And I think that's more pressure than not getting reverse sweep on.
I think I have to disagree there. I think all the pressure is on Maika Faction. They are the 3rd seed, and at the end of the day, Fort Mondeo went 2-0 down as the 6th seed. Everyone's been hyping Maika up as this fantastic demo-heavy side who have closed the gap to Aerial and Terra. And at the end of the day, Ford have took it to a game 5. All the pressure is off them. They can just have fun. They can just try and win this game for fun. Maika, all the pressure is on them not to lose and go out of the playoffs early.
I do agree with that statement, and so far Maika Faction are doing what they want to do. They are with a 1-goal lead as Ace is going to bang the ball forward after Torchic getting a cheeky bump here, not knowing what to good for Ace, almost with a shot, but Buckets is there in time to save it. We are coming down almost into the last minute of this game 5, and to be honest, I do want to see a over. Okay, now
A or Ace, because Ace just flies in there and puts possibly the series winner onto goal, and all 3 players were in the middle of the net there, and just no one could find the ball. And Maika Faction look in total control at the minute to go into the lower semi-final.
You're right, as a bit of a double commit, double touch I mean, and it does get scored there for his first goal of the series, if I am correct. But this is all, this is a team goal here, a great fake here, creating space for Carl to go on the ball, getting a double touch as Durst then put it in. That is a great goal. Maika Faction must be sweating in their hands right now as Mondeo is gonna come for that equalizer. As immediately after the kickoff, they take pressure. Bucket setting it high. Torchic is there, but another double commit. It is sad and a team bump. This is not what you want, Mondeo. This is your playoffs chances to go into the upper bracket. You need to take it here as shot after shot is launched on the Maika faction goal, but to no success yet. Ace puts in an open net and they're back at where they started with 30 seconds remaining.
Ace has absolutely stepped up in this final game. 2 goals, 3 saves, 4 shots. This man is doing it all. We said Torchic needed some help in attack. We've not really seen Monk do much tonight other than the demo plays. However, Ace finally turns up in this final game to clinch what could be the upper semi-final tomorrow versus Kindling.
Yeah, exactly. As Ace is gonna try for some insane read here, but is unable to find it. And Monk
Great save by Monk.
Getting indeed a crucial save here as we're into the last 10 seconds. And there's gonna need to be a miracle here to stop Maika Faction from going away with this game. But with 1 second remaining, this game is officially over, and the ball has bounced, and Maika Faction going to the upper bracket tomorrow.
Lower bracket semi-final, not the upper bracket.
Sorry about that.
But yeah, they've progressed on to the into the next stage of the bracket. They will play Kindling tomorrow for that lower final spot against whoever wins between Aerial, whoever loses between Aerial and Terra. Sorry. But let's not kid ourselves, Steenos. The quality of game kind of poor.
I agree. I have had the honor of casting prospect games more often, and the last time I did it, I was actually really impressed. Like, I saw teams had good ideas of what they wanted to do. Sometimes didn't have the necessary mechanics to do what they wanted to do, but here it just looked like some chickens without heads running around on the field sometimes with double commits, triple commits, no clear communication, and this is your set, Archeon. I don't want to say it, but it didn't look good.
I mean, it's sad because I'm the GM of one of these teams as well, and the way we played against Terra and the way we've played against Ford just isn't good enough. And I'm casting my own team at the end of the day, and people can say, "Oh, I'm biased," and I'll predict Maika Faction to beat Terra. But at the end of the day, this was not good enough from Maika Faction, and this is far from what I've seen them play like. As soon as I took over this team, the coaching helped them so much. They were playing the right way. I was so proud of them in the final 2 weeks of league play as well, getting that 2-2 draw against Terra. But tonight just wasn't good enough. It wasn't the Maika that I've seen in previous weeks, and I think maybe the week and a half break since league play finished has played a part in that. But I mean, after Kindling's 3-1 victory against Arcturus, kind of a shock, by the way. Well played to Kindling. Arcturus were one of the dark horses to win the whole thing. But it's going to be a tough game tomorrow versus Kindling if Maika Faction don't improve the game.
And as GM, and how are you going to approach your players after this game? Are you going to talk to them tomorrow? Are you going to talk to them after now? Are you going to talk to them after this stream, or how are you going to make sure that they're ready for tomorrow's match?
I mean, at the end of the day, we're here to have fun and stuff, but I'm going to try and have a calming influence on the gameplay for tomorrow. I'm going to leave it for tonight and just let them cool off, because maybe they know it. Maybe they know that tonight wasn't good enough, and they'll be ruining the missed chances and the defense and triple commits, double commits. There was a lot of things wrong, and maybe they just need to calm off and scrim a little bit tomorrow before getting back into thinking about getting in contention to beat teams like Kindling, Aerial, and Terra.
Exactly, Archeon. But I also want to take a moment and look at Fort Mondeo. Their playoffs run has come to an end, but I don't think that they performed super bad this series. It was not perfect, but after going 2-0 down, it is rough. You're not you're not in a good mentality there. But they still take it back to a 2-2, and I think there should be mad props given to that team for performing when you're in such a disadvantage in the series. And I think, yeah, they did that.
Oh yes, certainly. I'm only saying both teams played bad because of the quality of the opponent. Maika faction were in the top 3. They should be playing better than this, and Ford Mondeo should be absolutely pleased that they even took this to a game 5 after going 2-0 down. Huge credit to what Tronka's done with this prospect team. But they did really well against a top 3 team, but the performance tonight, I'll say it again, it wasn't a top 3 performance, sadly.
No, I 100% agree. This is not the Maika faction that I had the honor of casting in the season. This looked awkward. The demo plays that came out did look very, very refreshing. Wow. That looked like the Maika we've seen in the regular season. Monk, of course, the one setting that up, and he is going to need to show up tomorrow again with these demos for Maika faction to stand a chance. But yeah, it's sometimes it's just that even if you're not playing that great, you're still able to win the series because of individual plays, like we saw in this game, in the last game, especially by Ace. So, is there anything you want to say to the players right now that are watching, or to your players? If they're in the stream, I don't know.
I know I'm coming off harsh, but this is from a caster's point of view. I'm not like that as a GM, and they know that. I'm just coming off a commentator's point of view. And yeah, tonight just wasn't good enough. We'll go over this, obviously, in-house. I just want the lads to have fun, pretty much. However, there's ways to improve on that and have fun at the same time. Just while we have got the mention on Ford Mondeo and Tronka, obviously it was Tronka's last season as a GM this season, which is really sad. He's been in the RSC for seasons before I was even here. And he is running a donation pot for mental health and mind. His end of regular season donations total was £895. The end of season gift aid total was £132.85. The total was £1,027.85. Now, Tronka's been putting in, I think, £1 for each win, and obviously donations on top of that from everyone else. Vector's donated £103, Mr. C 30. I mean, it's such a great cause. I'm a big advocate for mental health. Obviously, I struggle with it at times, and if anyone can donate to this and help Tronka out, I'll put the link in the chat. But Tronka's done a fantastic job with his franchise throughout RSC, and obviously with the mental health raising this season.
I agree, and when I was still GM, I also advertised it in my franchise. I not know if anyone donated, but when I saw it, I knew that it was a good cause to join. And yeah. Archeon, do you have any? Do we want to interview someone still, or do you have any?
Yeah, we're not going to interview people during the mid playoffs. We will save it for the final, like we did in Major and Elite. So we will call it there tonight. Thank you everyone for tuning in and sticking with us throughout the technical difficulties in the first series. We do apologise about that. The overlays are new to us, and the coding sometimes does freak out a little bit. Gives us a bit of jitters, like Steenos's cam. However,
what's wrong with that? I don't know.
But yeah, we will leave it there. I will post the playoff bracket in the league discussion chat once we've finished. I have been casting and doing graphics all through tonight, so bear with me. But thanks, Steenos, for casting with me.
I had fun. Sorry for my cam once again, everyone. I saw it at the moment I was looking at the stream. I was like, well, my cam is on steroids, and I apologize for that. Now you don't have to look at my face, so that's also a good thing. No, I'm joking.
A huge thank you to Pables in the background for sticking with the stream and trying to fix it as quickly as possible. Congratulations to Pables on his new job at Wild Esports as well. I think I've said that right. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for the upper final, lower final, and grand final of Prospect Playoffs. Good night.
Good night.